Hello, hello. Can you guys hear me all right? Cool. I might cut out for just a second. Hang on. Like, slightest jiggle of this cable right now is... Okay, it's still working cool. Slightest jiggle of this cable right now is like knocking it out. Yeah, so sorry for the late start. We ended up without internet for like an hour, which was annoying. So I could not do anything. And to add to that, it was freaking 113 today, which was ridiculous. See, right now... right now it is a... It's a brisk 110 degrees. Yeah, I'm definitely not a rich man either. I could never be rich, because even if I started getting that kind of income, I would, like, use it to do stuff. And probably, honestly, give a lot of it away. But I've never cared about being rich. I just want to make enough money so that Angela and I can finally get to build the life that we've always wanted. Cool. So we're hoping someday to be able to buy a plot of land and do the homesteading thing. Hey, Moosox. Looking at the crazy Canadian toner. And I bet I was right, huh? I bet you loved it. Yeah, I guess that. I realized I had an ancient coin sitting on my desk that I didn't even know I had. I'm gonna look at it real quick. Ew. Not much to that one, is there? That is, that's a pretty tired coin. Yeah. We're going to give like 3 more minutes and then I'll get the beginning stuff out the way and we'll get going. How is everybody? $72 Philly cent, 3.48 grams. Yeah. So it's supposed to be what, 3.11? Or was that? Yeah, 3.11. 3.14. Okay. Is it pi? Might be on a foreign planchet. Weird things have happened. All right, 1 more minute. So hopefully we'll get a good showing tonight. Still hoping for a day when we can get like, regularly get like 40, 50 people on. That'd be cool. Instead of being most of the time being in the single digits. Need more peeps. All right, for anybody new, payments made by PayPal. Use cheapskatecoins@gmail.com and use goods and services only, please. We also have Cash App using the same email. Cheapskatecoins@gmail.com. If you use Cash App, it will say Louis Gachera. That's me. You're in the right place. Shipping is $6 to $23. $6 being a little purple bubble mailer, $23 being a large flat rate box. If you want your package sent registered, there is an additional $35 charge on top of that. Is the only way you can send or insure coins all the way through the mail. Keep in mind, if you do register, you will have to sign for it when it arrives. We do hold packages, so if you want to maximize your shipping and load out your package, just let me know to hold your package. I always recommend please send me an email, so that way in case I don't see it or I forget during the stream. That's why I say email me, so that way I make sure that I know. If you're new, you can't get stuff tonight. You just have to email us by the end of the night. Email has to have your personal info, shipping info, channel name, which payment method you're going to use, and what email you use for that payment method for invoicing purposes. If we don't get that email, you will not get anything, and we never ship without payment. Make sure you check our description below for all the rest of our rules and policies. She's doing good. And yeah, we've made some headway. There's one medication that she had that we're not going to be able to do. just because even after the copay, it'd be like $1,400, and we don't make that much. So, but you know, it sucks, but it's not like a life or death medication. It was the injection she got for her asthma. So by not doing it, it just means there's a chance she might have to use her nebulizer a little more often. But other than that, yeah, we're getting it worked out. Thank you for asking. All right, and here's our Facebook link. If you're on Facebook, go give us a follow. Tonight's lot list is on there. It is the top post. We also have a mailing list. If you want to be on the mailing list, shoot me an email, cheapskatecoins@gmail.com, and say add me to the mailing list. If you're on the mailing list, you will get the lot list at least a couple of days before every sale. And as soon as that lot list hits your email, you have the ability to pre-purchase items. It is first come, first serve, just like our sales. So if you want something, don't wait, jump on it. And we do not charge right away for pre-purchases. We wait until the night of the stream and then invoice everybody together. And of course, when we put the list on there on the day of the sale, anything that went in pre-sale has been removed. So what is on that list is what is available. All right, so again, apologies for the late start. I mentioned earlier before everybody else jumped on. We were without internet for like an hour, so that was annoying. But it happens. Wonderful, wonderful technology. But I wanted to let everybody know, and I will be shooting an email out about this and posting it on the Facebook page and all that stuff. Moving forward, we are going to be changing the start time. It's only a minor change. Instead of starting at 5 p.m., it's going to be 5:30. So we're going to be starting a half hour later. And the reason I finally decided to do that is just because for the last at least 3-4 months, people, for the most part, start showing up between 5:30 and 5:45. So a lot of times I was just sitting there on the starting soon screen for like, 25 minutes. So, yep, just going to start at 5:30 instead. So keep that in mind moving forward. And again, like I said, I will be putting a post up about it on the Facebook page. I will be sending everybody on the email list a notice about it. But all right. Oh, and something kind of cool happened this week. I finally got my 2025 Philly and Denver Kennedys for my collection. And Rick Snow at Eagle Eye Rare Coins actually just gave them to me as a gift. So that was cool. All right, kicking off tonight, as always, with banknotes. And the first one is actually a set. And I guess you could call it the showcase item for tonight because it is also the most expensive item on the list this week. And this is the Series 461 Military Payment Certificate Set. This was the very first issue of these. And you're getting the whole set. 5 cent, 10 cent, 25 cent, 50 cent, and the dollar is back there. So here is actually Rick's sticker that he added in his shop. He was asking $250. I'm doing it for $100. So anybody? We have a rabbit in the backyard starting to take naps in our backyard. That's cool. Maybe the dog is his friend. So here they are. There's the 5 cent. The 10 cent. And by the way, look how low these are. 23. 41. Here's the 25 cent. 56. Here's that 58. 58. Here's the 50 cent. And the $1. I believe so. Let me double check. Series 461. Okay, that didn't help me. So, in the gray sheet, if these were all, if this set was uncirculated, it'd be like almost $4,000. Just FYI. Where is the thing that shows the dates? Yeah, here we go. Yeah, issued between 1946 and 1947. I was trying not to break up the set, but if nobody wants to just buy the set, I will sell them at $20 each. If anybody just wants one or two of them. I can do it for $95. Set going to Moose Socks for $95. That way I don't have to break it up. Congrats, sir. I much prefer keeping it together. You are very welcome. And see, if you would have bought that from Rick, you would have been paying $250. Much better to get it through me. All right. And then I've only got 5 World Banknotes tonight. They're all the same thing. They're $5 each. They are the 1910 Red Seal 100 mark German notes. These are the ones that take a half a page protector. These are some big notes. $5 each. Alright, I need to lift this higher for this thing. Yeah. There we go. Hey, you can see the whole thing. Well, not the whole thing, but more of it at one time. So that's the first one. Here's the second one. Third one. We'll do a bundle deal if anybody wants all of them. Fourth one. And the fifth one. So anybody on these? If for some reason anybody wants all of them, I'll do all 5 for $18. It knocks $3 off. Or, no. $7 off. There we go. Anybody? Going to Scott Retzer. I'm going to change the prices on these real quick so it adds up to $18. So that makes 4 of them $3.50 and one $4. So that's 7, 4, yep, 18. Okay. Alrighty. Alright. Alright, these next items, these things are awesome, guys. There's 2 of them available. They're going for $75 each. And these are a true piece of numismatic history. These are NGC certified 1994D Lincoln cent dies. Like literally, they are in a case. They're in an NGC case. $75 each. If anybody wants both, I'll do both for $130. It's $20 off. Oh, Chef's grabbing one. Can't do the dealing. Unless Chef wants both of them for $130. Congrats, Chef. Good evening to you too. All right, anybody want the other one? How many of you have ever even seen that before? An old die in an NGC slab. Or case. Last call. All right, moving on. Next up, coinage. Got some more of those Canadian tokens that you guys have been liking so much. Going tonight. Come on, go get straight. Thank you. Well, they don't destroy them, but what they do is they grind the penny imprint off of it. So it's no longer there. All right, first one is 1815 half cent. And this is the one with Britannia on the obverse. And then the eagle on the reverse from Lower Canada. It is in a fine at $15. Anybody? Come on, light. Work with me. It's a pain in the butt sometimes because the way the camera is, I get the shadow of the camera. All right, moving on. Next up, 1920 from Upper Canada. This one's got the boat on the obverse. And then the spades and the anvil on the reverse. It's in a VG for $10. It's an awesome one for anybody who likes the stuff with boats on them. So's the next one. Going to Dandy Dave. Congrats, sir. Dandy, there you are. All right, next up. From 1929. Prince Edward Isle. Ships, colonies, and commerce. Halfpenny and VF for $20. I was actually amazed at that was actually that low of a price in a VF. I thought sure it would have been higher. But that is an awesome ship design. Anybody? All right, moving on to the 1837. This is from Citibank. It's got the man in the sash on the obverse. And standard Citibank reverse. It's in a fine for $10. All right, moving on to the 1837 Bank of the People. This one's in a VG for $10. You got the man in the sash on there again. Man, not much love for these tonight, I guess. All right, moving on. 1838. Montreal and fine. This one's got the bouquet. Going to Dandy Dave. Gratzer. Oh, we had two of those. So. Oh, wait, nope. These are slightly different. I also got the other bouquet. It's the more narrow bouquet. So I guess I would make that like the type 2. I don't know. But all right, moving on. Next up, we've got two of these available. These are 1844 Montreals, the one with the building on it. They are both in VF and they are both $15. Anybody? And the copper color one, is that this one? Which one's the copper colored one? If this is number 1 and this is number 2, which one are you talking about? Number 2? Number 2 going to West Side. You got it, sir. Hey, Boo. All right, moving on. And then the last of these for tonight. 1852 St. George, Upper Canada. This one's an extremely fine for 15 bucks. Not a bad price for an EF. And this one's going to Bo Gratzer. Bo, there's a number of those still available if there's any of them that you wanted to see. The 1815, the 1829 Prince Edward Isle with the cool ship on it. Both the 37s, one of the 38s are still, and one of the 44s are all still available if you wanted to see any of them. Alrighty. Or you can ask in the recap if you're still here. And then also one of these is still available. $75. Alright, World Silva. Hey, Aaron. World Silver tonight is starting off in the Netherlands. And start with the scope because these are the smaller ones. All right, first one up. 1936, 10 cents. 64% silver, VF, $3. It's my best on it. I could go 15. That'd be the best I could do. You do it for 16? Okay, I'll do it for 16. All right, Prince Edward Isle going to Aaron for 16. It is. It is a very nice one. Let me find it real quick. And find your card. Aaron. Alrighty. And obviously nobody wants this one, so moving on. Next up, got two of these available. These are 1944S 10 centers. They are both AU toned and $10 each. This one has just the slightest bit of wear on the hair high point. That's it. It actually took me a while to figure out if it was AU or BU, and you can see the toning on there. So that's the first one. Second one's got a bit more of the toning, as you can see. And same thing with this one, just the high point on the hair has a little bit of wear. Two gorgeous toners. On west side, he's got your name all over him. Ain't nobody. All right, moving on. Right, and then there is also a 44S BU. Oops. Stop it. There we go. So 44S BU NGC list on this one's $40. I'm doing it for 15. And this one's also got a little toning on it. Less than half of list. And that one is going to Aaron Gratzer. All right. Then next one up, we have two available. These are 25 centers. These are the 1941 25 centers. They're both AUs. They're $5 each. Here is number one. That's upside down. And here is a number two. Anybody? It's just that bit of wear on the cheek right there. And a little bit in the hair. All right, moving on. Next up is a 1955 1 gulden. 72% silver. It's an extremely fine for $9. Where's silver at right now? Silver's been up lately. I haven't even looked today. 36.29 right now. It's down a little bit right now, but still above 36. I think it's going to stick around where it's at right now. That's my personal opinion. All right, moving on. And then we got 1963 2.5 gulden. BU for 25. All right, moving on. Then the last one from the Netherlands, 1970 10 gulden. BU for 22. Anybody? A bundle deal for for all of the Netherlands? I can do a bundle deal for all of the Netherlands if you want all of them. I can knock $16 off the top. So that would be Actually, I can do better than that. I can do 21 off the top because I'll knock some off the one you already grabbed. Hang on. What did I say? Yeah, 21 off the top. Okay, so it would have been 104 at full price, so minus 21 means you're now getting them all for 83 bucks. Alrighty, cool. You got it, sir. Alrighty. All right. Next up, I have one coin tonight from Sweden. It is a 1955 10 ore, 40% silver, VF, $3. Can't go wrong for $3, right? Yes, that is all of them. Every Netherlands that was on the list. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 coins. All right, moving on. All right, next up is Netherlands East Indies. So we got 2 coins from them tonight. It's the same coin, though. Oh, wait, we got 3 of the same coin. Sorry. But one is an EF, one is an AU toned, and one is a BU toned. So these are all the 1942 1/10 Gulden. The EF is $3. The AU toned is $4. And the BU toned is $5. So here's the EF. This is the $3 one. Which technically is also toned. Here is the AU. This is the $4 one. They're all 72% silver. And then here is the BU, the $5 one. Anybody? You want one? Just say bin and the grade, so I know which one you want. Excuse me. All right, moving on. Next up is Mexico. So the 1945 50 centavo went in pre-sale. That was the only Mexico coin that went in pre-sale. It was the only world coin that went in pre-sale. So we are starting off. Oh, let me switch camera again. Doink. With the 1947 1 peso. 50% silver AU, $12. Oop, upside down. Anybody? Alright, moving on. Next up, you rarely see these things looking like this. 1958 1 peso. This is one of those 10%ers. Beautiful AU. $5. Normally these things are like fines and very fines. But that one is gorgeous. It's the current melt on these. I haven't looked in a while. Let me see real quick. Current melt on these right this second is $1.87. Which, to put that into comparison, current melt on a war nickel is $2 and basically $2.05. Going to Chef. Gratzer. And then we've also got the very next year. Also an AU. And also for $5. 1959. It's like a weird album toning line on it. Tell you what, Chef, if you want both of these, I'll do both of them for $8. So you save a couple of bucks if you get both. Make them $4 each. That was annoying. My internet cut out for a second again. Bin deal? Alright, awesome. I was worried I was going to have to like finish the sale tomorrow or something when my internet cut out again for a second. If it does go out again, I'll pick it up again tomorrow night. So like if I suddenly just disappear and you don't see me back on, I will make sure we finish it. Just so everybody knows. Alright, so both of those going to Chef for $4 each on a little deal. No, it wasn't you. Alright, next up, 1953 5 pesos, 72% silver BU. $30. Nice big chunky coin. Lots of luster. Anybody? All right, moving on to the 1947 5 peso. So apparently I had these out of order. But this one is AU toned. This is one of the 90%ers. This one is almost an ounce of silver. Going for $40. So like a crazy copper toning. Any takers? All right, moving on. Last one from Mexico. 1978 100 peso. 72% silver BU, $28. And this one's going to Thomas. Check that out. Congrats, Thomas. You are very welcome. If anybody decides you want any more of that Mexico, let me know. Ah. Alright, next stop around the globe is in New Zealand. And kicking off New Zealand for a great price, actually. 1934, 3 pence. 50% silver, VG, $3. King George the Older. How can you go wrong, guys? It's almost 100 years old. It's silver, and it's only $3. And going to Chef. Gratzer. God. So I just whacked the camera. Dunk. Next up is 1939 3 pence. This one's an AU for $8. It's just that little bit of wear on the cheek. That's it. It's such a minor bit of wear, I almost missed it. I actually almost called this thing a BU. But then I noticed that little tiny wear mark on the cheek, and I was like, dang it, nope, that's an AU. Anybody? All right, moving on. All right, next one. I didn't label this one on the list as toned because I kind of wanted to surprise Westside with it. This is the 1940 2 dots 3 pence. It's extremely fine and it's got that cool dark toning. And go for $6. So there's a 1 dot version and a 2 dot version. That's the 2 dots by the date. If you only have it on one side, it's a 1 dot, and that would be like a $400 coin. But this is the 2 dot version, so it's only $6. Anybody? And even under that dark toning, you can see like hints of like orange and red. This is really cool. Right? It's like the that one Canadian, the Canadian large cent. If it has the dot, it's a difference between like a $20 coin or a $4,000 coin. All right, I guess nobody wants it. Moving on. Last one from New Zealand is a 1934 shilling. Oops, wrong button. There we go. It's an AVG for $5. I could do a bundle for all the New Zealand if anybody's interested. Well, the 3 that are left anyway. If anybody wants all three, I can do all three for 13 bucks. It saves you $5. Anybody? And even on a bundle deal, nobody wants them. All right. Apparently everybody hates New Zealand. Got it. All right, moving on. All right, so we've had the Netherlands. We've had the Netherlands East Indies. Now we've got one coin from Netherlands Antilles. It is a 1963 1/10 Gulden, 64% silver AU for $5. Picked up 2 5-gallon water jugs filled at the top with pennies. About $250 in each one. Cool. Hopefully you find some cool stuff in there. If you're actually going through it all. All right, moving on to Canada. All right, kicking off Canada is a 1950 10-cent, 80% silver VF, $4. And toned. Oh, all right. New Zealand deal is going to Bo. Congrats, sir. Oops. Boo. Where'd they go? Is that them? Is this them? Yes, it is. All right. Alrighty. All right. moving on. To the 1953 10-cent VF for $4. Anybody? All right, 1 second. Oops. Aaron, I just sent you a reply. All right, moving on. Where'd I go? There we go. Next up. Sorry about that slight delay. 1959. AU toned. $6. Anybody? All right, moving on. To the 1960 EF. Going for $4. Oh, by the way, I will be doing the, finally getting those 2 giveaways done tomorrow. I just remembered I forgot to say that at the beginning. So I will be streaming tomorrow and doing the 2 giveaways. So I don't know, it'll be sometime in the evening. Finally getting that knocked out. Alright, moving on. There's no one looking for Canadian dimes tonight. Next up, 1962 AU, $6. All right, moving on. To the 64 EF for $4. All right, moving on. And the last of the dimes. $1965 AU. Over $6. And here's another one of my bundle deals for tonight. If anybody wants all the Canadian dimes, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. I will do all 7 for $25. That's $9 off if you get all 7. And Dandy Dave is taking that deal. Congrats, sir. Alrighty. And next up, we got 1 quarter. It is the 1966. It is a BU for $8. Ooh, glare. It's nuking the camera. Anybody? All right, moving on. To the 1964 50 cent. This one's an AU, 14 bucks. It's looking really weird on the camera right now for some reason. Anybody? All right, moving on. All right, then the last three for Canada. These are some of the 50% silver case dollars. First one is the 1974 50% silver proof. It's the Winnipeg 100th anniversary, going for 18 bucks. On the Dandy Dave, Gratzer. Oops. And then the 1979. It's got the awesome ship on it. It's the Griffin. Going for 18 bucks. If you don't have this one, Aaron, you need this one in your ship collection. Anybody? Wow, nobody on that one. All right, moving on. And the last one is the 1991. Which also has a ship on it. $50 silver, proof, 18 bucks. And this one's actually a decam. Tell you what, anybody wants both of them with the boats, I'll do both for 32. $4 off for a boat bundle. And Dandy Day is taking that deal. Gratzer. Alrighty. If anybody decides you want the quarter or the $half, let me know. Alright, next up we got a couple from Curacao. They're actually the same coin, but they're different grades. It's 1944D 1/10 Gulden. One is an EF, one is an AU. EF is $4, AU is $5. 64% silver on these guys. Let me get to the scope. Blink. Here's the EF. This is the $4 one. It's got a cool toning on it. Curacao. And then here is the AU, also toned. This is the $5 one. Anybody? So again, there's the $4 one, $5 one. All right, moving on. Next up, we've got a 1944 S 50 centavos from the USA, Philippines. An extremely fine $10, 75% silver. Hey, I happen to know for sure that you have $35 you just ran into. Granted, which was my fault. All right, moving on. Next up, Mercury Dimes. All right, so everybody's aware. The 1918 S, the 2026 S, 2026 Denver, the 36 and the 37S all went in pre-sale on these. Just so everybody knows. But we are kicking off. And I could have actually gotten the 21 and the 21D too if I would have had more money, but I didn't. But we're kicking off with the 1916. This one is in a gem AU for $35. Very nice. Yeah, the 16D was not available. Or if it was, he has it on his eBay. There you go. There's a better view of it. I'll do these under the scope. That'll make it easier. How often do you guys see 1916s looking like that? All right, moving on. Just about. There's a couple of them on here tonight that are full band. Next up is the 1916 San Francisco. Dave, was that on the 16 plane date? That came in like right away after this one. Were you binning this one or were you binning the plane date? Both? All right. Both of the 16s going to Dandy Dave. Congrats and congrats. All right, which brings us to... That definitely makes it easy. 1920 San Francisco. Extremely fine, $20. Anybody? A little bit of toning on that one. All right, moving on. Next up is the 1924 plane date. It's in a VF for $10. Yeah, just email me whatever is left or whatever you need because these are... Hang on. These are all Merc Dimes from the same set that were not on the list. These are just the ones that are on the list tonight. I landed an entire set minus the top 3 coins. So the 21, the 21D, and the 16D were the only 3 that were not in it. And by the way, if anybody was wondering, the empty Mercury Dime Dansko also went in pre-sale from the beginning. Anybody on this one? $10. All right, moving on. Next up would be the 1928 San Francisco. This one's going to be in a VF and $15. A little bit of toning going on. All right, moving on. Cops on your flank? Well, quit texting then. You don't need them seeing that. Next up is the 1930 San Francisco. This one's EF toned. Over 12 bucks. It's kind of hard to see it right now, but this one's going to Thomas. Congrats, sir. Next up is 1938 BU. 18 bucks. Check that gorgeous thing out. That is beautiful. Ooh, hard copy. Wow, nobody on this one, really? Alright, moving on. Oh, Moose Socks just came in late on this one. Is that an upgrade for you, Moose Socks? And then next up, 1938 San Francisco BU. Over 20 bucks. All right, moving on. To the 1939 Denver. This one's in an AU for 12. And it has some toning. And this is going to Thomas Gratzer. All right, now it's time for the stoners. And time to make West Side cry. 1940 plain date, Jim BU, full split, toned. $40. Full stripe band. There you go. They don't come much nicer than that. Anybody? This thing's nice. That's for sure. Pretty sure if Richard was here tonight, he'd already be on top of all these. Count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 10. All right, moving on. And then the 1941 BU full split band. This was only $28 though. Anybody? And nobody wants the full split man ones. All right. Moving on. Out of all of them, I figured those would be the two that would go. But nope. Next up, 1943 BU, $18. This is the last one for tonight of the Mercs. Unfortunately, not a full split band. All right, moving on. If anybody decides you want any of those, let me know. Next up, got 3 barber quarters tonight. First one is a 1908 Denver. It's in a VF at $45. You guys said you've been wanting some nicer barbers. Here you go. It's actually still got a little bit of the luster on the back. All right, moving on. To the 1909 Denver. This one's an extremely fine. Going for $75. All right, moving on. And the last one is a 1909 plain date VF. Over 45. And here's my stupid deal for the night. All three for $100. For anybody keeping track, that's $65 off. And Dandy Day is taking that deal. Alright, so let's see. I'll just make that one 50. I'll make that one 20 and that one 30. Yay, math. Alrighty. Alright, next up, we got some silver-proof Kennedys. First one, we got 3 available. These are the 94S's, 90% silver proofs, $15 each. There's the number 1. There's the number 2. And there's the number 3. Tell you what, for tonight only, I'm going to do a deal on these. Because I've been trying to get rid of these for a while now. For tonight only on the 94s, I'll do $12 each. That's my break-even price. Oh, wait. $13, sorry. $13 each. Let me correct that. All right, one going to Thomas. By the way, that makes him 3 cents over melt each. When's the last time you bought a 90% silver Kennedy for 3 cents over melt? Because melt on these things right now is $12.97. Last chance, then they go away. All right, moving on. Next up is the 1996. This one is going for $20. All right, moving on. To the 98. Over 18 bucks. Again, these are all 90% silver proofs. All right, moving on. To the 2006. This one's going for 15 bucks. I forgot to copy that part of it. This one's 15 bucks. Which still is $2.03 over melt. I remember back when I first started this channel, 90% silver Kennedy, the melt was like, it was like $8. Or might have even been like $6. Because melt back then was $17 an ounce. Moving on. Last of the Kennedys is the 08. The rate silver's going. These things will be up to 20 bucks an ounce, or 20 bucks melt soon. All right, moving on. If anybody decides you want any of those, let me know. All right, next up, dollars. We got 3 Ike dollars tonight. First one is the 1971 plain dates. It is BU. So 71 and 72 were the dates that these were not included in the mint sets. They were circulation only. Normally I charge $5 a piece for these. Tonight I'm doing them for $3. And I'm going to give you guys even a better deal tonight. Just because I'm in a good mood and I want to be nice. 71 Denver. For tonight only, I'll do the set for $5. Cheapest I have done these, I think, ever. Uncirculated 71 set. It's like buy one, get one free for my normal prices. Wow, nobody. All right. Moving on. All right, then I've also got a 75 plain date. I know it's a 75 because it is a Type 1. It is BU for $3. As I always mention, Type 1 means normal letters. That means that this was the 1975 release. The 1976 release has the big blocky letters. That's the Type 2. moving on to the final lot before the recap. And this is a really, really good deal, guys, coming up. This is a set of presidential proof dollars. It's only missing the 2016s. And it's $90. That makes it $2.50 a coin. God. Get back on there. That is a screaming deal. Plus, you're getting the album. Those 7s, 8s, 9s, 10s. Come on. 11s, 12s. Those alone are like $10 each for the 12s. The 13s, 14s, and the 15s. Only missing the 16s, and then of course the ones that haven't been made yet because they're not dead yet. That is a heck of a deal, guys. $2.50 each. 2.5 times face. All right, moving on. All right, recap. All right, all the banknotes are gone. We do still have one of the NGC certified dies still available. I never even knew NGC had these things until a couple of days ago. 1994 Denver U.S. Cent canceled defaced die. Certified genuine by NGC. So that means that they filed the pattern off. So it can't obviously be reused. Has the mint registration on it. So you know which mint it is, or which die pair it was. So that's $75 if anybody wanted it. 1940 Merc for $35. Let me look. $40. Can you do 37? I could do 37. All right. Going to move socks for that Merc dime for 37. I hear it, man. That thing is gorgeous. All right, so that's still available. 75 bucks if anybody wants it. And then the Canada tokens. We still got the 1815, the 1837 in fine. Actually, both the 37s are still available. The 1838 and the 1844. Did anybody want to see those again? All right, World Silver, the Copper Owl. No, the actual album, the Dansko album went in pre-sale. Sorry about that. All right, the 1955 10 ore Sweden and all 3 of the Netherlands East Indies are still available. Yeah, 25 bucks for a Dansko is a dang good price, so I'm not surprised it went fast. All right, for Mexico silver, the 1947 1 peso, the 1953 5 peso BU, 47 5 peso AU toned are still available. Anybody on those? Still have some of the Merc Dimes available, though. That was just the empty album. If you need to pick up any Merc Dimes. All right, the 1 coin from the Netherlands Antilles. It's the 1963 1/10 golden AU is still available. Anybody on that one? All right, for Canada, the only 2 still available are the 1966 25 cent and the 64 50 cent. And then the 2 coins from Curacao and the USA Philippines 50 centavo. Anybody on any of that? All right, Merc Dime still available. 1920 S and EF. 1924 in VF. 1928 S in VF. 38 S BU. 41 BU full split band. And 43 BU. Anybody on any of those? And then beyond that is the Silver Kennedys, the Ike Dollars, and the Presidential Proof Set. So anybody, anything else? And just a reminder, we're starting at 5:30 moving forward, not 5. Night's not changing, it's just starting a half hour later moving forward. And tomorrow night I will be doing both the giveaways. So that's the Montly Loots giveaway for April and May. There we go. My brain stopped working. And then the one for the 1 sellout last month. Mini bundle for the Mercury Dimes from the 20s. I'm sure I can figure something out for you. Let's see, 20, 10, so that would have been 30. Plus 15 would have been 45. I can knock $6 off of it. Make each one $2 cheaper. So it would be 18, 8, and 13. You got it. Oops. All right, so now on the Merc Dimes, the only one left from tonight are the 38SBU, the 39DAU, the 41BU full split band, and the 43BU. And if anybody else wanted a bundle on any of those, I could probably do at least something. $38S, 41, 43. And if anybody wants a bundle on the last three, I can knock $8 off the top. Just FYI. So it'd be $58 for all three. All right, last call on everything. Well, stay tuned, Andy Dave, because like I said, these are all from that same album. I scored an entire set minus the 3 main key dates. And I could have gotten 2 of those key dates if I would have had a bit more money. But I ran out of money, so I had to let him keep those 2. It was the 21 and the 21 Denver. If I would have had a bit more money, I would have had those 2. So these are all coming. And there's still some really nice ones in there. So I'll have some more of these on the list next week. All right, guys, if that's it, I'm going to get out of here. As always, give me a bit to get all the invoices put together and sent out. Hey, everybody, have a great night, and I will see you guys tomorrow night. I don't know what time, but probably around the same time I do the coin streams. But I will catch y'all tomorrow for the giveaways. Have a good one.